Hi, Lenny. So this question or this video is to answer a question you posted today. So we have this question here. Using the table below, answer the questions asked below, and then we'll have our unit of good and then total utility from each good X and Y. And the first question is asking for the if George spends $5, so that's our total spending is $5 per week on good X and Y. If the price for each good is $1, how many units of each good could he buy to maximize the utility? Now, this key term called utility, think this as the measurement of happiness. The more utility you have, the more happy you are. Now, to answer the question, one thing to keep in mind is that you need to know this equation here. The marginal utility of good A divided by the price of good A must equal to the marginal utility of good B divided by the price of good B. As long as this equation is equal, your total utility is maximized. Now, vice versa, if this side is more, so if this is more, then you buy more A. And then if this side is more, then you buy more B. Now, there's one concept called the diminishing marginal utility. That means the more of something you're consuming, the less utility you have from the consumption. So as the consumption for A goes higher, 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 this marginal utility will be lower, lower, and lower. So to answer the question for part A, we must need to find out what is our marginal utility for good A and what's the marginal utility for good B. Now we have our total utility, we don't have our marginal utility, but we can find them out. So the marginal utility of good A is just the change of total utility for good A. So if you look at this one, so when you have the 1 unit of X, your total utility is 20, and I will have 2 units of X, your total utility is 35. So the difference between the two is 15 unit. And that 15, that's your marginal utility. And then between 35 and 48, the difference is 13. And then next one, the difference is 10. And the last one, the difference is also 10. For good Y here, the first level, the difference is 13. Second level, difference is 12. Third level, difference is 5. And last level difference is 4. And that's your marginal utility for each additional consumption of each good. All right, so we only have $5. And we're going to go through each dollar spent. So for the first dollar you're going to spend, should you buy either X or Y? Now, for your first X, you have 20 utilities. And then for your first Y, you have 19 utilities. So for the first X here, X is more, so you're going to buy the first X. So we buy the first X here. Now, for your second dollar, we can either buy the second good X or the first good Y. Now, if you buy the first good Y, you have 19 utility. And then if you buy the second good X, we have 15 utility. And 19 is more, so we buy the first good Y. So we got $2 now. So for the third dollar, we can either buy the second good X or the second good Y. So if you buy the second good X, you have 15 utility. If you buy the second good Y, you have 13 utility. So this is more, so we buy the second good X. And then for the fourth dollar, we can buy the second good Y or the third good X. So if you buy the second good Y, that's a 13 utility. If you buy the third good X, it's also 13 utility. So it doesn't matter which one you buy. So let's say you buy the second good X. So that's also 13. Now for the last $5 here, we can buy the third good Y, which gives you 12 utility, or the third good X, which gives you 13 utility. So 13 is more, so we buy the third good X. So after all, with all the $5 spent, we're going to buy 3 units of good X and then 2 units of good Y. All right, and last part here. So what is the value of George's total utility once maximized? So for total utility, we're going to add up these numbers here, the 48, and then this number here, the 32. So since George will consume 3 good of X, the total utility from the 3 good of X is 48. So 48. And then George will consume 2 units of good Y. The total utility is 32. So that's a 32. So add it together, your answer should be 80. That's your total utility from consumption of $5 of good. All right, so this is how I answer the question. If you have any question, let us know. Okay, good luck on your assignment. Bye.